We'll open the Kennedale City Council meeting November 30th, 5:30 PM. To address the Kennedale City Council regarding an agenda item, submit a request to speak form before the meeting begins. Speakers are allotted 3 minutes. You must limit your comments to the subject indicated and should address the Kennedale City Council as a whole rather than individual members or staff. Pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, the Kennedale City Council reserves the right to adjourn into executive session at any time during the meeting to seek legal advice from the city attorney on any item posted on the agenda. May I get a roll call?
Rocky Gilly,
Present.
Brad Horton,
Present.
Kenneth Michaels,
Here.
Austin Degenhart,
Here.
James Connor,
Present.
Mayor Joplin. We have a quorum for tonight's meeting.
Thank you. And we have no one signed up for visitor and citizen forum. So we'll go straight to the reason we're here, which is an item for individual consideration to consider approval of an interlocal agreement, also known as ILA, with Tarrant County Precinct 2 for assistance with the proposed road improvements as part of the 2021 transportation bond. And I will turn this over to our city manager to give us a summary on it. So if you have any questions, you can ask before I ask for a motion.
First, I want to make a possible correction. For the individual consideration, we have improvements as part of the 2021 transportation bond. This is actually, it's not with the transportation bond. It would be the bond that was set by the council or approved for 2021 for bond improvements to the streets. So it's not necessarily transportation. It could be for infrastructure as a total. For the last couple of months, we have been meeting with Commissioner Allen in reference to helping with road improvements for the city of Kennedale. During this time, we have communicated back and forth on how they can come about helping us improve the roadways with funds or just help in general, saving tax dollars by providing the service. If we purchase the equipment, or I'm sorry, not the equipment, the road-based materials, things of that nature, they would be willing to help by providing the equipment and personnel to come out and perform the actual work itself. During that time, we come to an agreement if the city would provide $869,000 and some change, that they would be able to comply and help by providing the equipment and the services for the new roads. The roads were identified as Swinney Hyatt, New Hope, 3rd Street, and Eden Road. There are portions of the roads that will be completed by Tarrant County, and some parts of the other roads, particularly Swinney Hyatt and New Hope, will not be performed in that manner. We were limited to the funds that we could provide for that service to be conducted by Tarrant County. So whenever you read the ILA, you will see where it's just a portion of the roadway, not the complete roadway. The idea is in the future to be able to complete the road as a whole as funds come available, or we possibly be able to use the bond money that you passed in October 2021.
May I also?
Sure.
Just to interject, is there were 4 projects that were proposed as a whole, and based on the amount that, and for those 4 projects, it was based on the money that we had to give at the time. They came back with, okay, the amount of money that you can provide will take care of, they kind of pieced it apart a little bit. And so it's still possible that we can go back and get the rest of them, to fill in and do interlocal agreements. But for the moment, with what we were willing to put up for funding, these were the projects that were listed. But we can possibly in the future go back and either through other funding or through more ILAs, pick up the rest of the roads. Does that make sense? Ken, you've got some questions.
This is accomplishing what we can
Right,
on
right.
short order
Yes.
with the funds that we have available as the city and that precinct 2 has available to spend on our behalf.
Correct,
And there's a possibility of other funds becoming available in the future.
correct. That's correct.
And the 2021 bond that we did pass, I think it was for like $6 million or something like that. Would those funds be for other streets and other projects within the city within the timeframe?
That's correct. The 5.7 million bond was for street repairs. This 800,000 that we're asking tonight for the ILA is a part of that money. It does not necessarily change the street the streets we're looking to improve. It will be modified somewhat of what that is, but with the intent that we're going to be able to complete more streets with the agreement with Tarrant County Precinct 2 to provide more street service.
I would like to know if the city manager would like to provide a list to council and to the mayor of the streets that were selected during that bond discussion and some type of timeframe on that.
I can provide a time frame for you. Currently, I know it sounds kind of odd. Once I'm able to get the interlocal agreement, it's going to allow me to have a little bit more time to partner with Tarrant County with the hopes that we can get more maybe funding by Tarrant County. I just can't answer that or give any type of obligations to it as of right now. With the bond money that we currently have that's been approved by the council, that money is being used for that. So in a sense, the 800,000 I'm asking for tonight was already allotted for the street repair that you guys approved.
Yes.
However, it's cheaper for us to go through Tarrant County Precinct 2. They're not charging us for personnel and their equipment. With that, the hope is once we get started, it's going to free up more money to get more streets within the city to move forward. And for me to come out and necessarily give you a direct street, I'd rather not be able to do that now. Once I've already indicated in December, we will be doing improvements to 4th, 5th and Broadway. That is still scheduled, still part of what the bond was intended for. The others are Swinney High, which is one that we're partially be done. Same thing with New Hope. All the streets that were identified on the 2021 bond is currently being done either by the city or the ones that are being identified in the ILA tonight.
Okay.
All right. So with that, basically what this does is it gives us, we can go deeper down our list is what this does. So do I have a motion to?
Really
approve?
quickly, before we go to a motion, recently, going through the budget, there was a master work plan. There were some things that were still in concept phase, some stuff that was on hold, some stuff that was in progress. At the city manager's discretion, can we get an update on that at a different time?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
One more thing before going to a motion. In reviewing the ILA, this is a bullet point 2.6 occurs in each of the ILAs verbatim. It says, city will ensure that the project is cleared of obstruction which could damage county equipment during construction. That's rather vague and quite broad. And I feel that it may place unnecessary risk on the city for damages to county equipment. That could be construed as anything from a small pebble or a nail that punctures a tire to a stump that somebody apparently backs into. So I would like to discuss 2.6, and if there's the ability to have that amended or clarified, perhaps the scope of that narrowed a little bit. I feel like that would be in the best interest of the city and our constituents.
It's something we can definitely take back to the commissioner's court. It will have to go through their process as well. The idea or the requirement is for our council to approve prior to going to commissioner's court to allow the ILA to take place. There's other indications that it needs to be passed tonight to be able to go for the commissioner's court prior to a change in government as of January the 1st. Not that can't say we can't make the adjustment to it. We can definitely look at it. I did have our city attorney look over the ILAs as a whole and as individually. This is a common ILA that other cities and our council, our city as a whole has made agreements also. It's not any different that's been brought to us in the past.
Okay, so as long as we're all okay with that small level of risk regarding 2.6, that's all I have.
And it definitely be noted in that aspect. I'm not aware of any of that's happened in the past. Obviously, it doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. But we can definitely bring that to their attention and see what we can do.
I think one thing they consider obstruction is like a manhole cover. If they're actually grinding the street up, it'll break the teeth off of their grinder when they hit something like that. So as long as it's identified and marked, then there shouldn't be an issue.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the interlocal agreement with Tarrant County Precinct 2 for a partnership with the proposed road improvements for West Third Street, Eden Road South, Sweeney Hyatt, South New Hope Road, and Eden Road South.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Got a motion to approve in a second. All in favor? Have a unanimous in favor. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Pardon me,
Cancel.
before we adjourn, I think I'd just like to take this time to thank both our mayor, our city manager, and Commissioner Allen for working on this. And this is one of the areas that I think we're seeing some improvement in the city where we're scratching for all we can get to make our lives better and to improve our roads. And I think all three of those individuals deserve recognition for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate that. I'm excited about it. And we're just at the beginning of it. So I have a motion and do I have a second for adjourning?
Second it.
All in favor? All right. Meeting adjourned.